An organization's strategy is the design element of its organizational structure. In other words, the structure depends on the strategy the organization has developed. However, could the structure also influence the strategy? Is it possible for the structure to have an observable effect on strategy and performance? Clever Cortez, Pertusa Ortega, and Molini Azzori have posed these questions and attempted to answer them. As part of their study, they examined 1,903 Spanish firms with 250 or more employees and evaluated the relationship between hybrid strategy, hybrid structure, and performance. Their findings were actually quite interesting. They found that certain organizational structures aid the development of a hybrid strategy, while others hinder it. Namely, complexity and formalization aid the development of a hybrid strategy, while centralization hinders it. The study also found that organizations with a high level of hybridity, so they focus on more than one strategy at a time, were better performers than those with low hybridity. Further, the study found that a hybrid strategy is only possible if the organization also has a hybrid structure, so the structure depends on a strategy. This expands our knowledge of how hybrid structures are developed and how these structures can also influence the organization's strategy. So, how do we explain these findings? It's quite simple. Vertical and horizontal structural elements can serve more than one strategic purpose. By nature, hybrid strategy and hybrid structure go hand in hand. As the organization focuses on more than one strategy or goal, it also uses its structural elements to achieve those goals. It can then be theorized that organic structural characteristics, such as complexity, can increase collaboration and innovation, which are classically linked to differentiation theory. Complexity can also aid a low-cost strategy through learning and finding the most efficient processes. Other organic characteristics like decentralization can foster experimentation and therefore aid differentiation, but it can also lead to faster decision-making in favor of a low-cost strategy. Formalization, traditionally a characteristic of mechanic or vertical structure, can aid differentiation through more efficient implementation of new advances, and it can also aid cost reduction through efficient rules and regulations and guideline settings. These multiple dimensions of structural influences can explain why the hybrid structure can and does support the hybrid strategy. It is also possible that a certain degree of structural influence is due to the fact that strategic changes are more easily put into place than structural changes. Therefore, if a hybrid structure is already in place, it is likely that a hybrid strategy is used.